cultural and architectural legacy. Rich cultural history of Buddhism in Odisha. Buddhism, flourishing under royal patronage and leaving behind a rich flourishing under royal patronage, ancient era leaving behind a rich cultural and architectural legacy. Legacy. Here detailed it concise. Early period Buddhism made it way to Odisha during the reign of Emperor Ashoka in 3rd century BC. Ashoka embraced Buddhism after the Kalinga War. He sent missionaries to spread the teaching of the Buddha. This led to establishment of Buddhist communities in various parts of his empire. Establishment Buddhist communities, including Odisha. Actually, Pratigiri, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri, one of the Buddhist sites, significant archaeological and archaeological architectures related to Buddhism in Odisha is the Ratnagiri, Ladagiri, Udayagiri. Odisha. Buddhism in Odisha is Ratnagiri, Ladagiri, Udayagiri complex. These sites dating back to 1st century BC to the 12th century CE constitute a major Buddhist monastic complex. Constitute a major Buddhist monastic complex. Radhagiri with its large stupa, vihara, monasteries, and numerous artifacts represent a thriving Buddhist center. Large stupa, Radhagiri, Udayagiri, Ratnagiri complex dating back to 1st century BC to the 12th century BC constitute a major Buddhist monastic complex. Radhagiri with its large stupa, vihara, monasteries, and numerous artifacts represent a thriving Buddhist center. Role of Emperor Kharavela of Kalinga during the 2nd century BC, known for his patronage of Buddhism. The Hathigumpha inscription in Udayagiri details his efforts to rebuild the destroyed stupa. Bihara Kharavela supports contributed significantly to the revival and sustenance of Buddhism in the region. Decline of revival. With the decline of Buddhism in India from the 7th century onwards, Buddhist society in Odisha fell into a state of neglect. However, there was a revival of interest in Buddhism during the British colonial period when scholars and archaeologists began to rediscover and document the Buddhist heritage in the region. Emperor Kharavela during the 2nd century BC is known for his patronage of Buddhism. He Hathigumpha inscription in Udayagiri detail his efforts to rebuild the destroyed stupa and Bihara. Destroyed stupa and Bihara. Kharavela support contributed significantly to the revival and sustenance of Buddhism in this region. The revival and sustenance of Buddhism influenced Tantric Buddhism. Odisha played crucial role in the propagation of Tantric Buddhism. Ratnagiri complex in particular exhibits significant Tantric influence in its sculptures and inscriptions. Tantric Buddhism with its emphasis on historic rituals. Ratnagiri complex in particular exhibits significant tantric influence in its sculptures, with its emphasis on historic rituals, found a conducive environment in certain regions. Maritime trade routes and cultural exchanges. Historically, Odisha's coastal location facilitated a maritime trade routes and cultural exchange with the Southeast Asian countries. This led to dissemination of Buddhist ideas and practices beyond the Indian subcontinent, influencing the cultural landscape of the region. Modern period. In the modern era, there has been a renewed interest in Buddhism in Odisha. The state government recognizing the cultural and historical significance of Buddhist rites has undertaken initiatives for Their preservation and promotion of tourist destinations. Scholars and researchers continue to explore and document the Buddhist heritage of the region. Contemporary Buddhist communities, while Buddhism is not the dominant religion, today there are contribute to continuity of a Buddhist tradition in this region. While Buddhism is not the dominant religion in Odisha, Buddhists in the state, this community often engage in the cultural and religious practices. Contribute to continuity Buddhist tradition in these regions. Modern era, there has been renewed interest in Buddhism in Odisha. State government recognizing the cultural and historical significance. Odisha it has undertaken initiatives for the preservation and promotion of the tourist destination. Scholars and researchers continue to explore and document Buddhist heritage, maritime trade routes of cultural exchanges. Odisha coastal location facilitated maritime trade routes and cultural exchange with the Southeast Asia countries. This led to dissemination of Buddhist ideas and practices beyond the Indian subcontinent, influencing the cultural landscape of the region. Inclusion. The history of Buddhism in Odisha characterized by a period of prosperity decline.